Hi, my name is Allison. I'm 43 years old. I'm 5'6", and I live alone in the woods with my dogs. This is week 8 of my weight loss journey. It's Saturday. I have a lot going on. So we're going to do a quick little chatty get ready with me section of this video. And I'm going to catch you up. I let myself run out of propane. When you live in the middle of nowhere and you run on propane, it means that the dude who fills your propane tank won't be here until Thursday. I figured out on Friday morning that I was out of propane. I washed my face last night by heating up some water in my kettle. I also have an autoimmune disorder called cold angioedema, which means that when my skin touches cold temperatures, I get hives. And I've had that autoimmune disorder since I was 20. It's gotten progressively better over the years, but it's an issue. When there's no hot water for me, that's actually a way bigger thing than just being inconvenienced. It's actually about safety. It's silly that I let that happen because all it takes to check the propane is to stop by the tank one of the times that you leave the property, walk out to the tank, lift up the lid and check the percentage and let it not get to zero. I mean, that's really all there is to it. Also, in order to get more propane, you got to pay your bill. When I called to order more propane, they're like, that'll be $1,200, please. And I was like, ugh. I mean, I knew it was going to be that much, but still, it's painful, right? And granted, that amount got me all the way through the winter. That was a fill on November 11th, and I don't need more propane until the end of March. But still, that's like, it's... And then I went to go visit my friend, and we had lunch, and I ate half a burrito. It definitely did not hit the spot. I'm finding that consistently, that food out is not hitting the spot. And so we're sitting there chatting at lunch, and I find out that she's been not feeling well for, the better part of a week. We strategize and decide that after lunch, we're going to go to urgent care. So she went and got labs and all that stuff. I went home. She finds out late in the evening that it's important for her to go to the emergency room. But she and I got to be in the emergency room until about 1 a.m. Then I took her home, and and then I went home myself. I'm headed back downriver again today to go pick up her medication, take it to her. It was quite the night, and I feel like because I didn't hardly sleep, I also didn't hardly lose any weight. I don't know if those things are correlated or what's going on, but I gained weight between yesterday and today that doesn't make sense based on what I ate. So we shall see. I also got feedback while we were sitting in the emergency room that it was hard to figure out what the outcome, what the takeaway of last week's video was. I wanted to share that last week's outcome was that I lost about a half a pound. That was it. And I'm trying to figure out how to denote that from day to day so that it's easier to watch and easier to track, and you're not trying to do math on the fly. Just know that I'm working on that. I'm still having breakout issues. I don't know what's causing them, but it's super annoying. That much I can share for sure. This outfit that I'm wearing is something I haven't put on since last spring and end of last spring or summer, maybe. It was almost too small, and it's fitting great today, and I'm feeling good about that. This week, I'm going to focus heavily on getting back on the intermittent fasting because that seems to be the key to rapid weight loss for me. It's a lot harder to get the scale to move when you're interacting with food in some way, shape, or form every couple of hours. And I also don't like all the decision-making that's involved in that much eating, especially when I don't have the ability to cook until Thursday. If anyone has suggestions on how to not run out of propane, I welcome them. But I suspect it's just check it more often. I tend to have a hard time checking things like the mail, like the voicemail, like email, I have an avoidance streak. And I don't understand why I avoid things that then crash and burn, like you run out of propane, right? It doesn't make any sense that I would choose to avoid checking the tank because it's not going to change the outcome, I suppose. Maybe I was avoiding paying the bill. Maybe that's what I was avoiding, because I knew that in order to order more, I was going to have to pay. I didn't want to pay. That spot on my cheek right there, that's really bothering me. It's hard to conceal. The other thing that I have noticed is that I think I'm self-sabotaging. That has happened to me before. And it has something to do with the fear of being seen. You might wonder, why did you start a YouTube channel? And I did it because I was bored and I like documenting my life. But it is providing me opportunities to practice with whatever this feeling that I have is about a fear of being seen. This channel has grown kind of quickly. I think today we'll reach over 2,000 subscribers in about 8 weeks. That's a lot of eyes. And I feel an understandable low level amount of pressure not to mess up. I need eyeshadow. I'll be right back. Okay. It's a weird color I chose for my inner corner. You can't even see it. That's the kind of subtle I like. So many steps, I tell you. We're ready to go. Let's drive downriver to the store and go to the pharmacy and pick up some groceries for my friend, and then we'll take him out to her. Okay, girl, let's get in the car. Come on. You got it. Come on, Maddie. This one. No, Maddie. 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 Mav. No, baby. Baby, you cannot. Maverick. Come on, Maverick. Get out there. You gotta go in the back seat. Come on. I need to put a collar on you. There you go. You got it. Oi. Oi. On this trip, let's learn a little about concrete. It's located in the northern Cascades of Washington State and has about 800 year-round residents. This is the Baker River Bridge. It was built in 1917 when it was still part of the highway and connected the two sides of town. We used to be a town of bars and brothels. It was a company town owned by Portland Cement, and we supplied most of the concrete to the West Coast dams. We have huge silos that say welcome to concrete, and this is actually where Leonardo DiCaprio filmed his first movie called This Boy's Life. In my world, there's big town and little town, and today I went to big town. Can you even believe this is all yogurt? I feel like an alien when I go into huge stores like this and there's like more yogurt than I even knew existed, and I feel really overwhelmed. That yogurt section was insane. After the grocery store, I headed to my friend's house by the sea. It's a beautiful drive with cherry blossoms on the right and daffodils on the left. I love the little town she lives in. Sometimes I wish I had landed there, but I so appreciate my peace in the woods. I went and visited my friend, and now I'm headed to the daffodil fields, and we'll go see what we can see. I am consistently amazed that I live in a place that is 1 hour to the sea, 1 hour to the mountains, with fields and fields of flowers in between. On this day, it had rained all morning, and the sun was just starting to peek out. People hadn't figured it out, and there was no one there.
You look incredible.
Oh, thank you so much.
Color combination.
Thank you. I'm back in the car, and for the price of admission to the fields, I also got a bunch of daffodils, which is very kind. And for the first time in years, I got a compliment in the wild from a gentleman. He said, "Girl, you're shining." He was a lot younger than I was, but I get a lot of compliments on my outfits and style and such, but it's not often that I get an all-encompassing compliment like that from a man, and it felt really nice. And now we're gonna head into the hills where it's not sunny and probably go do some housework. Sounds like what the rest of my day holds. On this trip home, I was a victim of weekend drivers driving well under the speed limit. They're all headed to the national park that's about a half an hour from me, and they make me crazy. I got the daffodils put into water, and then I thawed some soup from the freezer. During this meal, I focused on placing my spoon down between bites. I'm noticing my posture is atrocious, but that's a problem for future Allison. Good morning. It's Sunday, and there's a couple of things on the docket today. I need to wash my hair because, yeah, I do. I don't have any hot water, so I'm gonna have to do that camping style, but that's okay, I can do that. And I need to go to the dump. I haven't decided if it's just gonna be a trip to the recycling section or a full trip to the dump. I don't know how committed I feel. I'm fasting this morning, so I'll need to eat in a couple of hours, which will be something I look forward to. I'm a little bit hungry, but not too terribly hungry right now. I've been fasting since the afternoon yesterday. I'm doing a 20-hour fast with a 4-hour eating window, and then the eating window goes until like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. So we'll see how that goes. And I need to tidy my house. Like, I feel like I never got it under control from when I got home from my dad's. It is still a mess, and I want to fix that. So join me as we figure out this Sunday. Little do I know the doom this yogurt has in store. On this day, I also had chuck steak in the crock pot. It's Sunday evening, and I got a few things done, and I also didn't get a few things done. I did not go to the dump. Shocker, huh? And so I'll have to tackle that probably midweek. I think they'd open on Wednesday, maybe Thursday. I washed my hair. That went well. I fasted for 20 hours. I broke my fast at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and then had my meal. It's been a moderately productive day. I am super struggling. I just stepped on the scale and it's like 279.1. And I know exactly why. Last night when my barbacoa came out of the crock pot, I had 2 tacos. So I made a reasonable choice at an unreasonable time. 10:30 at night is not a time to have 2 tacos. They were delicious. And the entire time I was eating them, I was like, this is not the behavior of a skinny girl. In the words of Liv Schmidt, if you're familiar with her here on YouTube, I know she's really controversial, but I like her message, even though her delivery is a little hard for me sometimes. My friend is in the hospital. The friend that I took to the emergency room on Friday, she's been in the hospital all weekend, and I'm really worried about her. I'm gonna go visit her this evening. And apparently when I'm emotionally burdened, I want to eat, and it makes fasting a whole lot harder. I have counseling in a little bit, and then I have my work day, and then I'm gonna go and visit my friend at the hospital. Just reach out and we'll talk about what I might be able to provide in your email. Go back 1 week and check it out. It's also updated on the website along with the reports. I'm getting propane. Look at me, I'm getting propane. Yay, I'm getting propane. I'm so excited. It sure felt triumphant to relight the water heater. Is it dinner?
Good boy.
Good girl. After I visited my friend, I turned around and headed home. The dusk drives are always the hardest because I worry about hitting an elk. Luckily, our community has a kind of an elk watch, and we let one another know where the herds are. Okay,
Let me demonstrate what making your decisions at the grocery store looks like rather than making your decisions at home. First of all, instead of going and getting takeout, I went to my favorite Mexican restaurant and just got a container of the sauce that I love. And then I also had a great idea. I thought to myself, hey, self, you should make some of that sauce on your own at home. It's called a poblano crema. So I have a bunch of poblano peppers that I'm going to roast. Then I got 2 cans of chipotle and adobo. Then I got some limes. I got some crema, and I got 2 avocados. Then from another store, I got cilantro, different kinds of no sugar added jam. That's to add to my yogurt. I got 2 yellow plums. They had a more clever name than that, like a lemon plum or a lemon peel plum. A container of Elenos unsweetened yogurt, 17 grams of protein per 3/4 cup and no sugar. A red onion. I also stopped by the supplement store and I got 3 electrolyte mixes to try by Element. I got the raspberry salt, orange salt, and the citrus salt. I've had a lot of comments about adding magnesium to my evening regimen to help with sleep. And so I went and got some magnesium glycinate, which is the kind of magnesium that helps with sleep. So that's my grocery haul. And I'm really proud of myself, especially on this sauce. This was a good idea. And making more of it on my own is an even better idea because this was $3, technically $4 after tax. There we go.
Remember that yogurt I mentioned was foreshadowing? Here it is. I've isolated milk as my eczema-causing food. It was almost gone. So close. And then I had a fair bit of unsweetened yogurt, and about 36 hours later, it's back as if it were never gone.
Good morning. My house is a real mess because I have hardly been home this week. So please excuse me if you see grossness in the background. I'm going to work on that. I'm headed downriver today to pick up my friend and take her home from the hospital. I have counseling today. I'm nearing the end of a 36-hour fast, so I feel like I'm getting back on track. I lost 2 pounds between yesterday and today. I have had no problems completing the fast. Maybe I could even go a little longer. So we'll see how I feel when 10 o'clock rolls around. And then I might go and swim today while I am downriver. I've been really itching to swim. So I'll go ahead and proactively pack my suit and then I'll be ready if I choose to swim. It is such a beautiful day today. I am here at the hospital and hopefully my friend's getting discharged today, but there might be a hiccup with that, we'll see. Then I'm gonna sit in the car and do my counseling appointment and then head back up to the floor to see if she's ready to be sprung loose. She was released and I got to take her home. Then I headed home myself. As I smiled at the mountain smiled back through the sunshine. I feel an overwhelming sense of peace when I return home. It was time to break my fast. It had been 42 hours since I'd eaten. I made myself 2 tacos with a little bit of rice, barbacoa, crema, onions, arugula, and a little bit of melted cheese on a flour tortilla.
Editing Allison here. What you're about to see explains a lot. I've been wondering why it doesn't take me very long to eat, and then I watched the footage. I genuinely hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I'm going to work on the size of my bites and not shove food into my face like that in the future. I'm both so amused and so horrified. Oh God. All I can do is laugh. Anyway, thanks for coming to the show. It's Wednesday and I'm so close to my low. Okay, this is hour 18 of my fast, and I was wanting to make it longer, but it's not going to happen. I need to eat, so we're going to eat, and I'm going to try and take smaller bites today. Smaller bites. Smaller bites. Well, eating smaller bites makes it so that I can't eat as much. So I think that that's progress. I got full and I listened when I got full. Sit up straight. Whoa, posture, posture, posture. Tonight we're expecting lightning, thunder, hail, and tornadoes in Washington State. Since when are tornadoes a Washington thing? I hope that I survive in one piece. Holy crap. I think it's Thursday. Yep, it's Thursday. My stomach is so upset. I'm finding that fasting is causing really watery stool and some level of urgency, and I don't love it. I'm a little concerned / wondering, is my stomach going to be this upset for the entire weight loss process? If so, I'm very discouraged. I'm not going to stop, but this is an unfortunate unintended side effect. I had a date last night on the phone. We ended up talking for like 3.5 hours, which for me as a non-phone talker is pretty unheard of. So I'm intrigued. And even if nothing comes of it, it renews my hope that there are some people out there looking for something a little more solid. So that's encouraging. There was not a significant storm last night, which was fantastic. No lightning or thunder, no hail, and definitely no tornadoes. I haven't checked the news yet to see if the rest of Washington State was as fortunate as we were, but my little mountain town was fine. I have counseling this afternoon. I'm still finding that the time goes really slowly when you're fasting, and I definitely wouldn't mind some tips or tricks around how to speed time up. If you have any, drop them in the comments for me. It's time for me to start my work day, and we'll catch you later this afternoon. After my midday meal, I headed to a medical appointment. I took my swim bag, but I still didn't make it there today. I just had drinks with a new friend, and then I got a text that my other friend is back at the ER. So we are headed to the hospital. my gosh, holy crap.
It's been a really busy week. I'm super glad it's Friday and I'm ready for some rest, but my weekend's gonna be just as busy as my week was. I got home last night at like midnight or 1 o'clock or something like that. And then I had a few things to do before I went to bed. So I took care of that. I lost a total of 2.5 pounds this week. I fasted for a total of 137 hours. And the longest of those fasts during the week was 42 hours. I have a headache this morning and I'm a little bit hungry, but other than that, I feel good. I'm hungry enough that I may break my fast early this morning, but I'm gonna try and stick it out. I have a few hours left. If you haven't already, I'd appreciate a like, a subscribe, and a comment. It helps the algorithm push this video out to more people who might benefit from it. If you're one of the few who've reached all the way to the end of this video, please leave me some sort of food emoji in the comments to pay homage to the accidental mukbang that happened in this video. So thank you so much to everyone for their support. I hope your journey is going well, and remember, we've got this.